When was the last time that someone shared with you an online video that went viral and all the rage, everyone's talking about it, everyone's seeing it? That pattern essentially is creating this expectation that we should all be trying to create content that goes viral and gets thousands or millions of views because that's what's seen as the ultimate success marker. But when it comes to real sustainable growth for your business, today's episode is going to show you why consistency beats going viral every single time. Welcome to the Salon Scoop, the podcast that helps salon owners and salon professionals grow their business, boost their brand, and stay inspired. From salon marketing and social media to leadership and growth, we uncover the strategies and stories that move the industry forward. If you love learning, growing, and are serious about leveling up your salon business and brand, you've just found your new go-to podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Salon Scoop. Today we're going to get the scoop on why views and going viral does not pay the bills. For salons and spas out there, digital marketing isn't about chasing trends and hoping for overnight fame, trying to be a one-hit wonder. Too often we kind of go down chasing that path, that little golden light, that sparkle. But really it's about building trust, visibility, familiarity, right, with your followers and with your clients that you actually want walking through your doors every single day. Think of it, having 1 million views, what does that really do for you? Are those people, all within your community going to become potential clients? Got to focus on the right things. With me to break down today's topic is the one and only Sarah Perrin, our digital content creator at Salon S.O.S. Sarah, can you share with us from your insights sort of like why going viral is overrated for salons?
So if anybody has had a post go somewhat viral or full-blown viral, it's really exciting, obviously, when you click on it and you see that it has, thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of views even kind of thing, right? I'm like, that's very exciting. And again, incredibly validating, but social media marketing, like for salon pros, again, like you kind of mentioned, it's not necessarily, if your goal is to become famous online and become, one of these social media influencer hairstylists that gets, brand deals and different things, then sure, going viral is excellent. But for the average hairstylist or esthetician, your goal is to build your books, right? So again, going viral, although it might be exciting and you might have the odd one, it's important not to measure your success based on how viral a post goes. Something I like to say is you don't have to go viral for your message to be valid. And I think that that's important for salon pros to remember at the end of the day is, why are you using social media? Is it to become an influencer and famous online, or is it to build your books? So if it's to build your books, like most of us is, doesn't matter if you go viral, even though it's very exciting.
Yeah, like you said, 100,000 views, 1 million views on one post, one reel does not pay the bills. What you need is consistent clients that are coming to you regularly. And why are they going to do that? Well, if you want consistency, then you need to show consistency. You want to create familiarity with them. They want to see that you are showing up regularly on their feed, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It builds trust over time. So if you can just reinforce your brand, your message, your expertise, and your presence to your local market, over and over again, even if you're only getting, a few likes, a few hundred, sort of views or impressions, posting that visibility consistently over time shows that your business is active, it's reliable, it's professional, and those are all things that are important in the long run. All right, so show up in a predictable way rather than chasing that golden moment that's very, very fleeting. And at the end, you're actually going to be rewarded for it. Sarah, tell us why the algorithm actually prefers consistency over being viral on one post.
Sure. So social media platforms are designed to reward that consistent behavior. So it looks for these accounts that are posting on a regular basis. it doesn't really matter for your salon's page if you post, one time a month and it blows up. It's more important that you're posting, 2 times a week or 3 times a week, but doing that same posting schedule every week. That's what's important, and that's what the algorithm is going to favor. And then the people who are in your area and seeking out a new hairstylist or a new esthetician, when they're looking for this new person, the algorithm is going to favor your page, and that means that your page is going to come up closer to the top of search engines on social media. So again, a viral post is very exciting, but that consistency, even if you aren't getting the type of engagement that you would love to get on every single post, it's more important to have that consistency so that your posts are popping up at the top of people's For You pages, and that your page is coming up at the top when people are searching hair salon near me.
Nice. All right, I'm going to explain to everybody now listening why it doesn't matter how often you post, as long as you're consistent. I'm going to break one of the biggest myths in social media is that you need to post every single day. In reality, it's not about frequency, it's about consistency. Posting 3 times a week consistently is way more effective than posting daily for 1 week and then disappearing for the month and then coming up and sporadically, posting a lot. So as a content creator, you need to focus on a posting schedule that's realistic for you and your workload and what you're able to do, and then stick to it. You're going to get way better results.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that I always tell even my team. I know sometimes you'll have a day where you're just on fire and you record, 15 really good reels and you get all of these things and you do all of this editing, and then you just want to get it all posted right away. And I'm like, do not do that. Hold off on that. And again, spread it out. So this is why I love making content in batches, so that you can kind of have a game plan, like, okay, I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday every single week. And then if you're making these batches of content, then you just plug in what content you're putting in on said day. So you might so again, just a big thing to keep in mind. Don't get excited when you have created a ton of content. Spread it out to make sure that you have that consistency. And again, so that the algorithm is favoring it. So another thing I just wanted to touch on about, again, the viral posts and, again, consistency is that hits and likes and engagement on these viral posts don't necessarily convert into clients. So if you're posting, again, consistently 3 times a week, and maybe you only have, again, a couple of likes or a couple hundred views on each post, but one of those likes from every post is turning into an actual client in your salon chair, I'm going to take that any day over having a post that has millions of views from all over the world, but none of them are anybody that's in my local community that are actually going to end up booking in. So that's just a really important thing to remember, and definitely goes back to the why are you on social media? If it's to build your books, then don't worry about the engagement on your posts, because again, it can feel disheartening when you're putting this work into it and you get 3 likes or the infamous 200 views on TikTok or whatever it might be, getting stuck in that rut. But again, if you're only getting 3 likes and 2 of those end up being people that come to you, that is way more successful, and that conversion rate is way more favorable than having hundreds of thousands of likes and not a single one of them steps into your salon.
So well said. Really, really important that we reflect upon that's what's really actually important for us at the end of the day, right? It's just bringing in those clients into our salon, into our chairs, into our aesthetic room, whatever the service might be. All right, I want to reflect here and mention that consistency doesn't just benefit social media. We've been talking a lot about posting and scheduling, but actually being consistent on your social media also strengthens your entire digital presence. And because having regular content showing up that drives people maybe to click to go visit your website or to go and read a blog on your website actually helps to support your Google rankings, your SEO, because it's driving traffic on a regular basis to your website, which is a positive signal to the Google algorithm. At the same time, consistent posting helps to promote your overall website, just really staying top of mind. It brings people to your website. It brings people to maybe your online booking. And we want to get those clients to take that action to book with you. And we don't know at what point in their week, month, they're going to be ready to kind of make a decision about scheduling an appointment, trying out a new salon or a new service provider. So you want to stay top of mind as much as possible so that you are in the what's called the consideration set of that consumer, so that when they are ready to make a decision, you are in their consideration set. You are top of mind. And you can only do that by kind of having a consistency, just, every few days at least, having a message that's out there that they see you either through social, they see you somehow through, your website, they get a message, maybe an email, if you have them as part of an email list, that you're hitting them in different ways at different times, but having consistency as opposed to kind of like ghosting and not having any presence for 2 to 3 weeks and then coming back and being really consistent for a few days is not enough. That's how you can really help to strengthen your overall presence and capture the client when they're ready to potentially book.
Yeah. For sure. And if you have issues with staying consistent, because I know that is a big thing, again, there's a million other things on your plate, and sometimes, posting regularly on social media is just not top of mind. I have just a couple of little tips to help you stay consistent. So the first one is create simple content pillars. I was kind of talking about this before, but for salons, I like to stick with under the 4 content pillars of educational, inspirational, entertaining, and promotional. That kind of touches on every front that your audience is looking for. And then what I like to do is, again, batch content when possible. So I like to take a day or two where I am creating all of my content. I like to have ideas that fall under each of those content pillars. And then what I like to do is have, again, my basic scheduling posts. So let's say that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday to keep it easy. And then all of a sudden I have all of these ideas and all of this content that's already made that I can just plug and play instead of having to put a ton of thought process into it. Then I can schedule it and I can caption it and I can set it and forget it. I don't need to be thinking, oh shoot, it's Wednesday and I don't have anything ready to go for today. Something that I also think that a lot of people kind of sleep on with the salon social media content is reusing and repurposing content. So this means that if you send out an email news about, let's say it's product knowledge or it's an upcoming event or whatever it is, you can use that same piece of content across so many different platforms. Or let's say you have a really great blog on your website. Take a quote of that, make it into a cute little, graphic, throw it on your social media. Or if, let's say you posted a meme 4 years ago that was hilarious and is still relevant, repost it. You don't always have to be coming up with something completely new and fresh. So definitely dive into the archives and find evergreen content that is still applicable and relevant today. And you can throw that into the mix too for those days where you're just stuck in a content rut and you can't think of anything new, right? And lastly, focus on value over perfection. We've talked about this, how now with social media, people are valuing authenticity way more than they're looking for that perfection. So even if your post isn't absolutely perfect to, your standard, and maybe the picture's a little bit off, or you didn't spend 3 hours making sure that each transition in the reel is perfect, nobody's noticing that. They kind of like that more vulnerable and authentic side of you. So don't get caught up in the little details, and it's better to post something than to not at all.
Love that. Sarah, I hope that at this point in the episode, our listeners are convinced that consistency is very important for so many potential benefits. And I'm just going to close with this. While going viral may bring attention, consistency is what's actually going to build your business. Like getting caught up in those vanity metrics of the views come and they go, and we get high and we get low. But consistent presence actually is going to keep you top of mind and build that rapport that you need with actual customers. And remember, it may be boring, consistency, it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but we promise you it works. It reminds me of one of my favorite all-time TV commercials that's famous out there. It's for Buckley's cough medicine. They say, Buckley's, it tastes awful, but it works. It's very simple, and consistency is kind of the same thing. It's boring, it's not flashy, but it works. Keep that in mind and use that to your advantage going forward to help grow your business. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great day, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions about this episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Salon Scoop podcast. This show is produced by Salon S.O.S, a digital marketing agency by industry professionals for industry professionals. If you want simple and affordable solutions for any of your salon marketing needs, such as websites, client loyalty, Google search rankings, social media, or more, come visit us at salonsos.ca or on Instagram at salon.s.o.s. If you want to hear more episodes like this and help us continue to bring the industry great content, it would mean so much to us if you would support us in one of the following ways. Either share this episode with one other industry professional, and rate the show on Spotify or write us a quick review on Apple Music. We want to hear your feedback. If you have follow-up questions or ideas for future episodes, please reach out. DM us on Instagram at salonus.s.o.s or hit us up on our website again at salonsos.ca. Again, thanks so much for listening. Now go get your hustle on, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on our next episode.